What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and I want to talk about two prominent Philadelphia athletes who almost crashed out on yesterday. We're gonna start with Jason Kelce. He was walking around, some fans saw him, and the guy used a bad word to describe Travis Kelce, which caused Jason to turn around, grab his phone, and smash it on the pavement. Nearly crashed out, and it was centered around Travis dating Taylor Swift and all of that. And I think it's important to remember that these guys have families, these guys have feelings. Now he's a former athlete, but he's working on Monday Night Football now. He's still representing some other entities that this isn't a good look, but at the same time, fans have gotten way too comfortable because of the accessibility of these stars. You used to couldn't get up on them with your cell phone and everything like that, like you can now. And that's why we see something happen with like Cam Newton, where guys try to jump on him and all that. The stars are just more accessible, and people feel like they're licensed to say whatever they want for content. So let's look at that right quick.
Kelce, Kelce, Kelce,
Hey Kelce, how does it
Kelce,
feel your brother's a f***ing
Kelce, can I get a fist bump? Kelce, can I get a fist bump?
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember something can happen to you when these people turn around and address you. You're gonna have to be ready to stand on what you're saying sometimes. Uh the guy hears some language like that, who knows? The person might not be having a good day, could feel threatened hearing that type of stuff. That's his little brother, even though they only like a year apart or something like that. His first instinct is to protect. But you can't listen to these guys on the flip side because a lot of them are looking for a lawsuit. So let's transition into Joel Embiid, who nearly crashed out. Now Joel Embiid's situation is a little different. We know Joel Embiid hasn't played this year for the Philadelphia 76ers. We saw him give it a go over there in the Olympics. We saw him playing through the New York series, and we was looking like, man, Joel Embiid shouldn't play. But he did, and he hasn't been ready. But reporter by the name of Marcus Hayes put out an article where he mentioned Joel Embiid's brother who passed away in a car accident and his son named after that brother, and tied it into him being out of shape and not leaving a legacy for his name. Now we're gonna look at what Shannon Sharp said, which I really disagree with because he said um, it's not personal, but Ocho was saying you could leave my family out of it, and that's kind of how I feel about it. You don't have to mention my family when you're talking about my play on the court or anything like that. But Joel Embiid referenced that the other night before he actually got to see him. And he saw him last night after the Grizzlies game. So let's look back at what he said before he saw him. Then we're going to talk about what happened.
You would be taking this approach and missing these games to start the season?
It was never decided. Like I said, it's been everybody has been on the same page. If your body doesn't react well, and if your body tells you one thing, and I mean, I've done it. From what I can tell you, I've broken my face twice. I came back early with the risk of losing my vision. Had broken fingers. I still came back. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, when I see people saying he doesn't want to play, I've been way too much. I've done way too much, for this city, and putting myself at risk, for people to be saying that. So I do think it's bullshit. Like that dude, he's not here, Marcus, whatever his name is. I've done way too much for this fucking city to be treated like this. So done way too fucking much. But like I said, I wish I was as lucky as other ones, but that doesn't mean that I'm not trying and I'm not doing whatever it takes to be out there, which I'm gonna be here pretty soon.
So Joel Embiid, he saw the reporter after the loss to Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies in the back. And he shoved him and he said, "The next time you bring up my unalive brother and my son again, you're going to see what I'm going to do to you, and I'm going to have to live with the consequences." So he basically said he's going to crash out on this guy or anybody like this next time. I don't think Joel Embiid's son was needed to make that point. I believe that's where it gets really touchy. Talking about his deceased brother, I think that's crazy too. We're gonna look at what Shannon Sharp said before I get all into it, though. Let's peep.
Joel Embiid has been accused of shoving a reporter in the aftermath of a loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. Embiid took issue with a recent column that referenced his late brother and son, and Embiid shoved the columnist. No punch was thrown.
So he's upset about what the columnist wrote.
I think he said, "Whatever you do, keep my dead brother's name and my son's name out of your mouth."
How about just stick to basketball? There's nothing else outside of the game of basketball. It should be off limits. Correct me if I'm wrong.
All the reporter is trying to provide context. He says he wants to leave a legacy for his son, who he named after his brother. His brother tragically died Joel Embiid's first year in Philly. That's all he said.
Listen, you can get your point across without bringing up the legacy part.
So what's he supposed to report about?
Report about him not being in shape.
He did. All he did was provide context for why Joel said it's so important for him to leave a legacy.
You don't think that's a little insensitive, though?
I took it. I don't take it as being insensitive.
First of all, we have to look back at this reporter's history. Now, a lot of people online are saying he got what he deserved. I'm not familiar with his articles in the past or his approach to writing, but it sounds like, by all accounts, he throws this type of rhetoric in his writing to make a point. And Joel Embiid, is a ball of emotions right now. I feel like the Sixers dropped the ball. I feel like Embiid dropped the ball playing in the Olympics, even playing in the New York series. I've been on record saying that several times. At the same time, I'm pretty sure what made him really sensitive to the issue, you're talking about the legacy of him as a father to his son. That has nothing to do with basketball. And if we're going to look at that, he already won with the contracts he was able to get from the game of basketball. See, you're making it about championships and everything. His legacy to his son is his max contract. You see what I'm saying? No matter how we feel about that or not, I can separate what's really important in the real world and the championships, right? Will he be mentioned with Hakeem Olajuwon and them? No. But does that matter, like, in the grand scheme of things? Basketball players will come, they'll go. They were here before we were born, they'll be here after we leave, and legacies will be built at different times. But he's earned from his talent. So that's his legacy to his son as far as basketball goes. So yeah, man, I think reporters, they have to be held to the fire based off of what they write, sometimes. Now, Embiid may want to be cautious with doing this because I don't know. The reporter may say he's feeling some pain in his arm now, may say he got some whiplash in his neck from that push, and try to milk that and get a little bit of money out of that. You have to be careful because if you do crash out, you will be paying this guy. You can't crash out. But you have to go through the proper chain of command because what Joel Embiid has to recognize is he's just a puppet for, who is it, the Philadelphia Inquirer. He's a writer, right? So somebody approved, they read that article, proofread it, and they approved it to go into the paper. So he's not the only one complicit in this. So you can't just crash out on the person that has the face. It's always deeper. It's always another layer to what we're saying on the surface level. So that would be my advice to Joel Embiid. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.